the group delivered revenues, record-breaking revenues exceeding the 3 billion mark, marking a very big milestone for the ASBIS Group. The markets that were driving this growth story of ASBIS were Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and to a smaller extent, Russia and Slovakia, as well as the Dubai market, the GCC markets which are serviced by our Dubai office. Now, the underlying demand came obviously from the very strong position of ASBIS in these markets, coupled with the ability of ASBIS to deliver the products to the right markets with the right pricing. It helped also the fact that there were shortages in specific major product categories, and all this together has allowed the group to enjoy this growth story of 2021 and exceed the 3 billion mark. The answer to your question is no. This is not a reason to worry. The stock market responded and included in the pricing, obviously, the influence that ASBIS has from the war in Ukraine. It is very important for me to stress that this group has been in these markets for the last 30 years. This group has managed to weather crises throughout all these years. We all remember what happened in 2008 with the world economic crisis. We all remember what happened in 2014-15, again with Russia annexing Crimea. The group is very strong, and we are very confident on our company. And this is why we believe that this crisis will finish and the group will get out of this stronger. And obviously, the share price will return where its shareholders want to be and will pay off the people that stand next to the company. I think it's very important for me to start by saying the following. ASBIS is a Cyprus entity, is a Cyprus company, an EU company, and will follow by the book all sanctions imposed to any country, including Russia. It is very important for us to convey the message that we have been supporting our Ukrainian colleagues. We have more than 300 people employed or contracted in Ukraine. And ever since the beginning of these unfortunate events, the invasion of Russia into the country, we have been happy to support our colleagues and their families, either to leave the country or provide them with basics in order to have a proper life and manage to survive. Now, regarding the sanctions of Russia, I repeat, we will follow all sanctions by the book. We are not an Apple distributor in Russia. We have never been, and we do not get any effect from the decision of Apple to stop any sales of products or services in Russia. We are following up with multiple suppliers of ours of products in Russia. We do not have yet 100% visibility of who will continue supporting sales in Russia and who will not. We believe that the majority of them will stop selling in Russia or will limit their revenues in Russia. Therefore, will be an effect of this lost revenue. However, I repeat myself once again, we will not, we will follow 100% all the sanctions. We will not compromise on any of these sanctions. And we believe we are in the right side of history, supporting what is right at the happenings. Now, as regards to the exact effects of the sanctions, it is premature to know exactly what revenue will be lost. As soon as we have a full visibility of the products available to be sold in Russia, we will come out to the market with a proper statement, and we will share with our investors exactly what's happening. Allow me again to repeat that ASBIS is not a Russian company. ASBIS is a it's a pan-regional distributor covering all markets of Central Eastern Europe, former Soviet Union, and Middle East and North Africa. ASBIS has significant geographical presence across all these markets, which allow in multiple, and that was proven in multiple cases, that we can compensate lost revenues from one market with extra revenues to another. I will answer your question, meaning that we do not see how now we should cut our sales plans. We have seen the sales of January and the sales of February. Sales of January have been announced already, and they have been higher than last year. February finished in a very good style. Despite that the war started on the 24th, our February was finishing quite strongly. Now, going forward, March, April, the answer to the question is we don't know. However, we are making different scenarios. If the conflict, if the war stops in the very near future, and we see that Ukraine comes to an ordinarity, then we do not believe we should cut significantly or anything from our sales plan. Exactly because efforts are now being placed outside Russia. Efforts are being placed in Central Eastern European countries, in some Western European countries where we always had opportunistic business. This will become now stronger. The same applies to the Gulf region, to the GCC countries, and to the North Africa region. We will come to the market with an updated forecast. The plan is that we will give the forecast at the end of March, like we always do, unless something really big happens, which will not allow us to have any good visibility of how the markets will look like. Currently, and as we speak, we do not see how these sales plans will be cut to a significant extent, despite and given all the sanctions and the fact that ASBIS will follow all the sanctions in Russia. We've never been an Apple distributor in Russia. Our major and key strength is the Apple distribution in all these 11 countries of former Soviet Union. However, we will not cut down right now our sales plans.